believe we should be on at this moment. So, welcome everybody to my announcements and Q&A live stream, and today we're going to be discussing about the future of the channel, some like small little things that's been going on, and why uploads have been taking too long. Alright, so far I just have it set on my dashboard. I might either play some Minecraft or a few other things. So I don't know, it's unexpected, but let's get this started. So let's talk about basically the future of this all and what is gonna happen. So far, YouTube has been kind of slowing down for me. I've been having so much other stuff going on. Basically, I've been having work, mainly other bunch of things. I've been working, I've been making money. This doesn't mean I'll be quitting YouTube. I am not there yet. It's just motivation's been lacking. This doesn't mean I am unhappy with YouTube. I still enjoy doing it. It's just the worst part about the YouTube stuff is the other half of it. Yeah. Alright, let's move into the Q&A part. Is there any of you all like to ask a question first, or I'll just continue on with the announcements or a few other stuff? Alright, working back on announcements. I am almost finished working on Gun of the Week, Gun 30. Quick little thing that is the G3. Usually I had 2 weeks to do it because I get lazy sometimes. I know, I get lazy. So what? So if any of y'all don't really have a lot of questions, I think I basically said what I needed to say, and if any of y'all are interested about a Q&A, yeah. Honestly, I might wait a little bit longer. I might just be staying on Minecraft a little bit. Alright, let me just get a window capture set up so that you can all see it. Alright. Here we are. Alright, this is my Minecraft world I've been working on. So yeah, I can stream with it on. Hooray. Alright, working back with the live stream stuff. Is there any other questions that you guys really have to ask? Because I am not that hesitant on answering any. Number one, basically there's one dude who knows my name. Is it my real name? Maybe. He might know my location, but is that a maybe? Talk about you nightly. Okay. Silly goober. Alright, back when I said about the YouTube stuff just being like the other half of it, yeah, I got myself roped into a bunch of Discord things. So Discord is a social media app, if you did not know that, or you've been living under a rock. And I got myself into it back in November of 2022. Usually, I wasn't really back into it. I'm still not really now. Like, I've been doing Pavlov competitive stuff through it. Not a lot of it, but just it's a side thing I do. But like I said, life's been getting into the way, and Pavlov is kind of getting less and less for me. Alright. Alright. 1 second, let me check on any other questions part. Alright, seems like no one really has a lot of questions, so if there's not going to be any people joining in a little bit, then I might just end it. But I'll be patient and give it a few more minutes. Back to the Discord part. I think Discord has been alright. Usually the word KYS, which is not really the greatest work, but yeah. Alright, as right now, I'm noticing that the questions are starting to roll in, so let's get on to them. Alright. Number 1, what is my job? Alright, good question. Thank you for asking. So far, my job is I've been working for a mechanic. I've been doing basically his cleanup and working. I wouldn't really say what type of genre the job is, but I've just been working underneath trucks, keeping them safe and keeping them in a good, proper condition so they don't break down on the road. That's basically what I do. I just help maintain vehicles. Alright, let's move on to the second one. What are my favorite weapons? Alright, thank you for that question, Super Robot Mama. Alright. So, for a favorite gun, since I started Pavlov back in, I think 2020, I was really into the AK like most people. Then usually I kind of got off of the AK. I've been messing around with a few other guns until I gotten into the sniping category, which doesn't mean there's not a lot of people who do sniping. It's a very uncommon or even rare type of play, since you might find people who even use snipers. My favorite specifically being the hunting rifle. The op is just like the hunting rifle, but a bit more expensive, does more damage, and it's easier to reload. Hunting rifle is my favorite because it's more of a challenge to work with. And the Barrett, or the 50 cal, I say it's not really a hard one because it's being a one-shot kill. But the Barrett in particular, it's a very indeed toxic gun to be with. Like, if you have some very dead shot aim, you could be a god with it and annoy a lot of people. But then there's annoying and irritating. The hunting rifle is more of an irritating gun than annoying. Yep, the Remington 700. My parents actually have a Remington in their closet, and I actually shot the Remington 700 before, and it is a very, very loud gun. Like, I went up to the woods with it, I shot it, and oh boy, that thing sends out a shockwave and a sore bruise into your shoulder if you hold it right. It's a good gun to shoot in real life if you do it properly and if you do it safe, because I went hunting with that gun. Alright. And moving back into Pavlov, I say that the 50 cal is a good one. Doesn't mean I hate the 50 cal, but I just like the op and hunting rifle. Also the World War II weapons. Those things are fun, with their iron sights or their weird and tiny little scopes. Alright, Nightly, if you ever ask me what I'm building the Titanic. Man, you didn't even know what the colors look like? Come on. I thought you know what the Titanic looks like. Yeah, this is the tedious part of building. Alright, let's see if there's any more questions. Any more questions, people? Alright, I am getting very close to the finale of Gun of the Week, which is also coming up to the 1-year anniversary of this channel, which was back in August 16th of 2020. Dang, that has come a very long way, everybody. I can guarantee. My voice has indeed gotten deeper. I can still get like the old first time. Give me a second. Hello and welcome to yeah. Any other tips to get better? Thank you for that question. Usually these tips I'm gonna give out are the basic genre or common sense. Whenever you're using a gun, do not full auto it at a far range unless you're working with guns like the MP5 or M4. Using guns that have a very low recoil, just whenever your gun is whenever your hand is on the handguard of your preferred and selected gun, just drag it down, and which will help stabilize your recoil. If you're ever using a gun with a very high recoil, use a 3 or 4 round burst so that your gun doesn't spray up in the air and you don't die as fast. Kind of like how the AUG and M16 works. They burst out 3 bullets, then you try it again. So in conclusion, if you have a gun that has high recoil, use a 3 to 4 round burst. If you have a gun that has low recoil, then you can just full auto it all the way and drag your arm down when it's on the handguard to have no recoil at all. Kind of like the TTT Victor. And to any of y'all who are still watching, if you ever would like to join the Discord and even appear in one of my videos, because I always like to be connecting with my community a bit more. Even though it's quite small, I'm still a very decent person who like to connect with people. It's going to be through Discord. You could see in the corner of the screen. And my next one is going to be a Pavlov tank sling, which is like a War Thunder. So if any of y'all would like to join it, just let me know. Alright, let me pull up the live again. Alright. So yeah. Alright, let me give you an update for the Pavlov in real life skit. So far the skit has been going pretty good. I haven't been working on it too much with things and work getting in the way, but I'm almost done. I have every single clip needed, so I just needed to assemble it all. Sorry it's been taking a few months. I think the hype for it has died down a little bit. I might post one last trailer before the actual thing comes out. So yeah. So far the Titanic is looking pretty good. Usually this world I'm working on is a recreate from one I made 6 years ago on one of my old tablets. So I'm just recreating the world exactly because it was on a different Minecraft. It wasn't even Minecraft at all. It was a rip-off one. So yeah, I'm recreating the entire world because that tablet, someday, it's gonna die. So it'd be nice to have all the things, saved so I can have some memories and keep them alive. Or just see them again when I feel like it. Alright. Alright, back to tips on the guns. Let's start off with pistols. For pistol rounds on SND. Usually I might not be or even on Team Deathmatch, if you like to use pistols a lot. Kind of being like a John Wick. Alright, starting off with the 1911. The 1911, you defaultly spawn on it on the planning side. So it's a good gun if you do not want to spend any money on a pistol. The gun shoot kind of goes down exponentially, like it shoots straight, but after like a few seconds it starts going down. So yeah, I think the 1911 is a pretty good gun. But for like a close range, if you want to get like far range and want to hit headshots precisely, you're gonna have to not rely on those iron sights. That's where the Beretta M9 comes in. The Beretta is like the 1911, but you can use your iron sights more reliably and get those good headshots in. Usually, if you ever find a revolver player, they might even dual wield the Berettas and just use them as if they were a revolver. Alright, gonna answer one more question, then I'll get back to those gun tips. What is a relationship like? Alright, so if you're talking about like any girlfriends, I'm not really big into like it. So like, I like women a lot, wink, but I just not really into them right now. Maybe give me a few more years and I might just be disappearing from YouTube entirely because of a girlfriend. I might go bankrupt. 1911, yeah, with glow sights. Yeah, that is the one thing I like about the 1911. You can use it as like also a modern weapon, and also have it in World War II. And speaking of World War II, the push servers. Yeah, you cannot find a lot of push servers. They're like empty. That's why I bought my own server, so I can play push with my friends. Cause push, it is a good game mode. I can really make people mad with being like the admin and spawning and stuff. Alright, back to the pistols on how to work with those. Alright, from the Beretta M9, we are going to be moving on to the Glock. So the Glock is a 3 burst thing, and also back a few years ago in Pavlov VR, it used to be a full auto weapon. So yeah, it used to like full auto the Glock, and it was a big meta back then before they nerfed it and made it a 3 shot, kind of like the Tech 9. No, not the Tech 9. Yeah, Tech 9. No, I was thinking of 5.7. Yeah, the Tech 9 and Glock are kind of the same, but the Glock has a better sights, but the Glock also has a less mag count. Alright, I think that's pretty good for that part of the ship. I think I'm gonna stop right there on that part and just start working on a bunch of random stuff. What? Alright, we're gonna drift away from the guns and we'll get back to those in a little bit. What is the biggest Lego set you ever had? So I had a Ninjago set. It's like 2 feet long and like half a foot tall. It's a good set. I kind of stored it away since I like Legos, but whenever I'm done building with them, I just don't know what to do with them. Yep, the AUG was indeed full auto once, before they had to nerf it too. Alright, moving back to the guns and pistols. If you like to have a pistol that is very good at long range, use the Deagle. And if you're very good at making friends, maybe ask a person to put a sight on that Deagle. If you like a gun that has a lot of damage, I recommend the revolver. If you like to go in close range. And speaking of using the revolvers, like single-handing it on pistol rounds, you hold it with both hands, you have it pointed at the target you want, and when you have to do this fast, so you have to press the trigger really fast and also start pulling the gun down close to your waist, and what that will do is that it will basically get like a full spray onto your target. I might not be great at explaining things, but maybe in a little bit I'll do a live stream on how to get better with the VR guns. Alright, let's move on from pistols to SMGs. if you'd like to have a good SMG, if you're on the planning side, use the not the MP5, the UMP. The UMP can be a very good and cost-effective gun if you ever want to get in good headshots. But also the UMP is kind of like the 1911, and the bullets kind of just drag down, so you can't really fully rely on those iron sights. And that is where the AR9 comes in, or that little white one. That one is like the UMP, but costs $200 more and is a more reliable gun when it comes to those headshots. But whenever you're on the diffusing side, which I recommend that you can use the Bison or the Draco. Yeah, sorry, kind of took me to remember. Yeah, the Draco is a pretty good gun, or it's the AK, mini AK, if you look at the gun file name on Pavlov. I say that the Draco is actually a pretty good gun, but I usually don't use it a lot since I always like to spend my $2,600 on a helmet or a, I don't know, another gun. Yeah, if you like to buy a hunting rifle with a sight and armor, that'll cost you $3,100. But moving back to SMGs, the Bison is a pretty good gun with a high bullet count. I think the bullet count be sitting at 45, which is a very high amount for a gun like that. If you like to be accurate, you need to get your iron sights lined up perfectly. Then you could get like some beautiful headshots. And the Draco can only take one side attachment, not side attachment, one grip, and that being the vertical grip. It cannot take the horizontal one. But if you put like an 8x scope on it, you can kind of make it look like a little pixelated box. Alright, moving back from the SMGs, the P90. So usually if you ever watch the YouTuber, it's just QnA, you can find that he likes to hold his P90 sideways, because if you ever hold it up and use the iron sights will have you set off by like an inch. So yeah, by using the P90 and holding it sideways, like getting some practice in with the bots on the offline mode, you could be really good with the P90 if you just continue to work with it. Yeah, hip firing the P90 is what makes it very efficient. And if you're very good at hip firing, you could be a very good destroyer with the P90. MP5 is basically a little sneeze gun, like it being a 5, no, not 5, yeah, it's a 5 tap to the head. The MP5 is not that great. Same with the Vector, and I'm not talking about the TTT Vector for all you little TTT kids out there. The Vector is more like the MP5, which not a lot of people use since it takes a long time to kill. Same with the ASVAL. Usually it's called the Nerf gun, or I call it the Nerf gun, but the ASVAL can actually be really good if your opponent chooses to buy a M4 after pistol rounds. So the ASVAL can be a pretty good gun if you know what round you're on, if you just play it right. Okay. Lights. Let's get a couch in here. I'm gonna use this weird pink stuff. Yeah, the VSS in game. Alright, how should I have this couch? Alright, let's leave from SMGs and move on to rifles. And of course, the current meta rifle is the AK and the M4, or the G32 if you like to include that. The AK is basically every weapon that a new person gets into a lot. And it's also a quite overpowered weapon if you use it. Nice. And same with the M4, but that just being a 2-tap to the head, but it has a more of a stable recoil than the AK, and it can also take some attachments. The M4 is basically also a great starter gun if you're ever new to the game and like to get onto using weapons. And same with the M4. Alright, just checking on the live stream. Sorry for that glare. Ooh, I'd like to incorporate this into like a shelf. So stick that there. Nice. So if you're ever getting into Pavlovin or wanting to be a good pro at it, I recommend you start working with the M4 because it's a great starter weapon. Alright, from M4 to back to rifles, we got the M16, which is M16 and AUG, which are kind of the same thing, but the AUG, you get a ACOG on it. And also the AUG has a vertical grip built right into it, which is pretty handy. But if you ever take that ACOG off of the AUG, there is no iron sights at all. So it's a no-go. Alright, let's get a bed in here. Alright. Alright, back to guns. Let's get to back to the rifles. Let me think for a second, cause I'm flying through so many. I think I've forgotten some. Give me 1 second, please. Alright. The FAMAS. So the FAMAS, it has a iron sights that are quite difficult to get used to, but if you do, it can be a pretty good weapon, and it can only take one attachment, that being the suppressor. Look at that tower in the distance. Alright, I think I'm done working on this house. Alright, I think I'm taking a little breaky from Minecraft from now, and we're gonna be turning on the display capture and returning back to the screen. And we're gonna pull up the Discord, see what's going on. Oh yeah, Nightly, if you're ever curious to call people, you go to here, you go to here. See? Just like that. Alright. Yeah, I could see. Dang, we're doing pretty good. 3. Alright, let's get back to it. What's this? Huh? Yeah, I love my crap. Alright, I think there's not too much to say. The rifles, alright, pretty good gun. I didn't name all of them, but moving on to the heavy weapons, I think that the LMG and the sorry for the interruption. I was currently interrupted, I think. What the heck is that? What did you just say, bro? Tick your what the man, Niley, you have to auto check yourself to see if you're not screwing up. Alright, the heavy LMG. It is a gun with a very impressive mag count. It can be extremely fun and annoying if you ever dual wield it. It's not worth it, not worth the price. The most expensive dual wield being the dual Segas, like that you can hold with your hands without falling out. The true expensive is double Barretts, but if you shoot those, they just fall right out of your hands. Dual Segas is one of the expensive ones that you can hold in your hands without the guns falling out. So I think I should be wrapping up things in a little bit, and I'm getting a call. 1 second, please. Goofy goobers, turn off the...
Okay, so I'm sitting there, right?
Imagine being on a call with you, okay?
Wait, can I hear myself on the live stream? Hold on.
Yes, you can, actually.
I'm listening. I don't hear
If you
anything.
say anything that's not cool, then that's it.
My mic is really bad because my other mic, that's the good mic, does not work apparently.
It sounds normal.
So
So if there's any other thing you'd like to tell the audience about guns, what is your opinion on them?
my opinion is 1911 is goated. FAMAS is terrible.
FAMAS is
LMG
good
is
if you can
mid.
use the iron sights.
The 50 cal is goblin mode. And sub to nightly.
Alright, I'm gonna cut that part out. You crossed the line. You basically said an N-word. Alright, let's get that desktop out of you. Turn off. Alright, peoples. The Sega 12 is not that great. But it could be a good gun if you're ever running in on Data Center. Or Fairfax Residence. Good guns. And I think that's it for the live stream. Currently, dinner is being ready for me, and I'm happy you all joined. And also had some very good questions, everybody, so I appreciate that a lot. Will there be another one? I don't know. Will it be in a few more months? I don't know. It might even be tomorrow then if I actually feel like it. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you on the next, or even not even at all. See you, peoples.